Hey guys, welcome back from Classic Work. Got another good one for y'all today. Since there's a lot of hype nowadays for building welding carts. So I built this one a number of years ago. It's just sitting on a forklift pallet and it worked great for what I did with it. I could get up under here with Cuevas and move it anywhere I needed to, and it worked good, but it takes up a lot of room, a lot of wasted space. So I'm going to do away with it. You can see I've cleaned a bunch of my junk that's just piled up on top of it off, and we're going to build us a nice cart made out of metal instead of wood, so it'll match the rest of the shop here nicely. So there's a couple of things that I really liked about this deal and a bunch of stuff that I didn't. I liked that it was real easy to get to the machines and everything. They're all forward facing. I think I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to stack them. So they'll take up, half the width and just maybe be a little bit longer. And I'm going to put a double bottle stand on it, like more or less I built this one. So it ought to be real good. Should hopefully give y'all some great ideas out there if y'all want to build something similar to this. So stay tuned, it should be pretty good. Got some wheels here. These are 5" by 2". And I got two different styles here. I got straight type, which don't turn, and I've got swivel type for the front. So it'll be able to push straight, but you can still turn it from the front. So I think this ought to work pretty well. We're going to weld them on just as you see how they're sitting. I think these are rated at like $3.75 a piece, so stupid overkill. But I like the 5". That should work out really, really well. You'll be able to run over any kind of dross on the floor or any little rocks or pebbles. Most people will tell you out there, if you've got any kind of table, that they always wish they had bigger wheels, because you can't roll over just anything with small wheels. So might be overkill, but it's overkill for a good reason. So that should be really good. We've got one more brace to put in here in the middle. I'm going to favor one side. That way the welder will sit comfortably. So yeah, it's looking pretty good. We'll get all this done and we'll get ready to flip it over and start working on the uprights. Alright guys, I got the wheels mounted on here. I got the big 175 on here. It rolls really, really good, so that's a plus. It's not like an old crappy shopping cart kind of feel. It's a nice solid feel. So anyways, got all of our structure welded up here now. Now, the biggest reason that I wanted this cart, other than, you know, you could move it around, it was portable, was I hated the way I had my lead set up. When you've got 3 machines, they all got lead, they get tangled up with each other, and you're sitting there and you had to pull them out from each other and whatnot. It was a pain. So what I'm going to do is have lead reels or lead racks for every one of the machines, and I want to keep it all compact. It was annoying when I was pulling it in and out, the leads would get caught on stuff because it was sticking outside their skid or their footing. So all of it's going to be real, real compact, going to be real localized. So my plan is, we've got the big 75 on here. I'm going to come up with some supports right here, some 1-inch structure about yay high. We're going to, I don't know if you can see, I don't know if the camera can see me from there, but we're going to come up from this point right here, probably a good, I'd say, a good 4 feet. I think that'll be plenty. Maybe. We might go a little higher than that, maybe 4.5 feet. So that way I can have my MIG welder and everything up top, up here, and it'll give me lots of good reach with my stinger, more or less, to the whatever I'm working on. Plus this extra room over here will give me a good spot to roll up my stick leads for the 175. And then I'll weld my MIG leads on the other side so they are completely separate from each other. So I think that'll work really slick. It might be a little pain till I understand how it feels and everything, but I think that'd be the best solution. As far as the bottles, they're going to be mounted directly to the back here. And I'm going to have 2 uprights. I've got some nice 6-inch angle iron out there that we're going to cut little stubs off of, maybe like 4 inches or maybe even 6 inches, and put 2 on the bottom, 2 on the top, and we'll have 2 bottles that sit on the back here. I have to make a platform where my foot is here. But that's the game plan. I'm hoping that this is going to look really, really sharp, and it's going to be real functional. That's the main thing. The other thing is I'm going to have some room between the bottles and the welding machines right here. Hopefully I'm going to build some little apparatus or something to hang some chains and some of my rigging stuff on here. I got some come-alongs I'd like to hang on here, because, and clamps too. Anything that has to do with welding, generally, if I need to pull something, push something, any of that kind of jazz, I want it to be on this cart. So I think that's going to be good. Let's get to cut some 1-inch and see how it goes. Well guys, to put it lightly, it is really, really tall. I might have overestimated my my height a little bit. I thought 4 foot was actually going to be a little bit short, but turns out it's going to be a little bit tall. But I kind of like it. It means that the top of the tanks will be almost level with the top of that welder up there, so that'll look really, really sharp. And it's not going to be top heavy, because that welder right there weighs roughly 160, 180 pounds. So it's going to have a real low center of gravity, especially when we put the tanks on the back. So anyways, sorry guys, I didn't film more of the fitting process on this. I don't know if y'all get in the zone like I do. You listen to some good music and you're sitting there humming along to yourself, and next thing you know, an hour and a half has passed and you've knocked out something. You're like, oh shoot, I probably should have talked about this. So here we are. I'll be sure to film the rest of the process. I'm going to build a little shelf right here to accommodate my plasma cutter. Y'all know me, I'm not big on plasma cutters or wire welders or anything, but sometimes you gotta have them. Plasma cutter, they're one of the only things out there that can cut stainless and aluminum relatively easily, and then cut titanium. I have full with a little bit of titanium. So you gotta have them sometimes. So I'm not a fan of them, but that doesn't mean that I can't do without them. So anyways, we'll build a little shelf up there. I'll show you some more of the little fitting processes and whatnot. But the biggest thing I'm going to show y'all is how I'm going to mount the tanks. The tanks are probably going to be one of the coolest setups. That's something that's not talked about very much, and I want to show y'all how you can build a good tank stand, cylinder stand with not a lot of material. So we're going to give that a stab, and it should be really, really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and build this shelf next. Well, good morning, guys. It's day 2. It got late on me last night. Kind of skipped forward ahead a little bit more. These here are the bottle holders. If you saw me cutting, this is a piece of 6-inch angle iron 1/2-inch wall, and I'm liking the way they look. The biggest problem is I had somebody want to learn how to MIG weld last night, and I was showing them some tips and everything, and I wasn't paying attention to my fits, and dun dun dun, we got a huge gap. This is the right length. It's we just got to pull that joker over, looks like over 1 inch. So that's what happens when you let your work get a little too far away from you. But you can see they also have a little bit of a tweak in them. I think this is the one that's bent, and this is the one that needs to be tweaked. So I'm going to show y'all kind of how to pull them back straight. If y'all don't know about these are a godsend. I've said this in a previous video before. Chain come-alongs are the stuff. They really, really are. If you need to manipulate work, there's nothing better. So we're going to use this little 500-pound one here to pull these things back straight. So let's take a look at it. like it's tighter than Dick's Hat Man. Still not quite there. There it was though. Might be a bit much for this come along. I don't want to bend something. I already have. Alright, we're gonna put the Big Daddy on it. There we go. Pulling hard. Still not quite where I need it to go. We're gonna have to deal with that. Still about a 1/4 inch out where it needs to be, but oh, maybe not. Don't look bad. All right, let's give her a little tack. Check our squareness and all that jazz. Guys, don't tack without gloves. Don't be like me. Don't do as I do, do as I say, as the old timers talk. Be close. But yeah, chain fall, that's where it's at. For chain come along. I recommend getting you a couple. Alright, then bring y'all up to speed a little bit more. I've went ahead and put a couple of cross braces in here to stiffen this up a little bit because that's a lot of strain to take for 36 inches. So I got one of the bottles set up. I've also put some little simple L brackets on here for my lead reels, or lead holders more or less. So now the thing is, I put chains on here to hold the bottles on. And the trick to this is, I'll show you in just a second, just cut you a link out like so and have it facing backwards like that. Okay, so if there's any slack in this bottle, there's no way that it can come off. If you put it vertically, if you stand it straight up, there's a chance it could bounce and get over it. So angling it back like that will guarantee it won't do that. And also the cool thing about this is, you see how much slack is in this chain? If you don't like that and you want to tighten it up, you can grab another link. Say, well, if it's still too loose, right here you want to use this link. Yeah, I had to push the bottle. I can't operate the camera and do that at the same time. There's a little slack in there. You can get it a little bit closer. If this is too tall, right here, you can cut it down a little bit and it's still safe. So it's all on how you see it and what you want. Some bottles are bigger than others, some bottles are smaller than others, so this is kind of a universal type of setup. So it's looking really good. I'm liking it. I also put some lead holders on this side. The cool thing about this setup is, even though it's outside of this bracket or this frame, it's still inside the side of the cart. Let me show you what I'm talking about. If you'll look, it doesn't stick past the side of the cart. That way, if you push it into a hole or something, if it clears here, down here, it'll clear here as well. So I like that setup a lot. It's starting to look really, really sharp. I've got to cut out some plywood to put up here for this machine and this machine. That way they're not rocking. And Man, yeah, get the other bottles set up. Get my little stuff. That's the biggest thing. The little stuff is killing me. I'm gonna take all the machines off, clean it up real good, give it a good paint job. But we are getting really, really close. Still got to put a handle on the front here and a couple other little things, but like I said, little stuff. It's all in the details. Alright, we're out here cleaning up. It's a good time to address all of your edges. Anywhere that's sharp, take your buffing wheel and knock all the corners off. I've been cleaning up with the wire wheel, getting ready for paint. I'll tell you, I like it. It's real rigid, and it looks cool. And I think that's the biggest thing I like about it. It might be a little asymmetrical, but it is pleasing to the eye. So I'm gonna sit here and grind all the sharpness down everywhere I can. You want everything to be friendly when you touch it. You won't be able to have a 5-year-old come up here and they can, climb on it and they're not going to get cut. So that's what you want. Alright, last thing we're going to do is there's a bunch of old grinding grit and dust and whatnot. Take you a little bit of acetone or mineral spirits and just wipe down in general the whole thing. The way you paint will adhere real well. And get any oil off of there too, any grease. So you have the best chance of getting a good paint job. Doesn't take much, but if you don't do this step, you'll be sorry that you didn't. I'll tell you something else too. The reason that I built this so open is, I don't know about y'all, well I do too. If y'all got a welding shop of any kind, that old grinding dust gets on everything and it just sticks to it. And the less surface area you have for it to stick to, the better chance that you're going to keep it cleaner. If that makes any kind of sense. That old stuff, it's nasty as everything. It gets on everything. You can't hardly even blow it off sometimes. They just stick there and it'll stay there for years. It's the same stuff when you go home and you blow your nose and you got black boogers. It's that stuff. It's all over the machines. So if you got less surface area for it to collect, then you won't have to, you'll still have to clean your floor up, but you won't have to clean everything else up as much. So that's another reason to keep all this stuff real open. For the color, I'm just going to do a flat black. In all the colors that I've ever used, it seems to do the best, to hold up at least. And this color line that you can get from the map store, this is some pretty good paint. I've used it for years. It don't run real bad, it dries real fast. It don't go on real thick, but it dries super fast. That's what I like about it. You can pretty much wait 5 minutes and come back and put another coat on. Well, here she is all sitting pretty. It probably wouldn't hurt to put another coat on it, but I don't think it's any secret that I hate painting. I hate it worse than a lot of things. I actually quit a job because of paint. That and washing tractors. That's two things in this world that I just don't like anymore. But that don't look bad. It don't look bad at all. But man, yeah, I'm gonna clean the machines up because ain't nothing like a dirty machine on a brand new piece of equipment. We'll get her all put back together and see how she works. Well, it did good for what I needed it for. Like I said before, you can see the outline where the welder was sitting. All that's grinding dust mostly. It's amazing where it gets. You can even see where one of the wires was coiled up there. I mean, this grinding dust is nasty. Well guys, here it is all cozy next to the shaper. Dang, that welder don't sound good. Give y'all a quick little pan of it. I had a lot more junk than I thought I did. I got the clamps sitting back here. I got my chain fall sitting right here. I got pretty much everything that was on the old welding skid on here. But at least it's mobile, and boy does it look clean now. Looks sharp. But I like the flow. I thought I was gonna have trouble getting to some of this back stuff, but it ain't no issue at all to just kind of lean over there. But yeah, I like this. I like this a lot. We'll find out how it works and its uses. I think I'm gonna get a lot more out of it than my old method. I didn't think we were gonna leave without a test, did you? It rolls very smoothly for how much it weighs. Get it going just a little bit. Yeah, it rolls very nice. A little too nice, if you know what I mean. But man, yeah, I still got to bolt everything down. Everything's just kind of sitting in place right now. I'll probably wind up maybe putting some plywood where these two machines sit. And the good news is on the big one down here, I've got places to run some bolts in. So shouldn't be that bad. And that's a little extra stuff that'll come later. But yeah, I'm liking it a whole lot. Well guys, that's probably gonna wrap it up. I hope it gave y'all some good ideas out there. Maybe it'll inspire you to build your own. This is a long overdue project that I've been needing to do. I've built probably three different skids for in here for different welder setup, and you don't know what you want until you done built one and realize what you didn't want. So I think I've got mine close to where I want it. I need a lot of space for leads, and I got that now. I got that in spades. So I got to clean up some more in here. It's still terrible in here, but we're getting there slowly. It takes time. Well guys, I hope y'all liked it and hope you enjoyed it. Like this video, subscribe to me if you hadn't already, and guys, I will see y'all next time. Y'all take care, and God bless.